Hello, all my yarny friends. I'm Sara Sach. Welcome back to my crochet channel. Now, today's video, I'm going to show you how to make this basket. This is an Easter basket. I'm calling it the Sturdy and Bright Easter Basket. It's really fun, and I did mine in 3 colors. You can do yours in whatever colors that you want to. You could do it all solid. You could do variegated. You could do whatever that you want. But the yarn that I chose to use is called Yarn Bee Scrub-ology. It's a really sturdy yarn. It's 100% nylon. And how this came about is I was wanting to do a new basic Easter basket, one that the handle would hold up sturdy, kids could play with, and was washable. And so I'm walking along in Hobby Lobby. I was actually looking for something else, not this particular yarn, and I remembered that I had a whole bunch of the Scrub-ology yarn at the house. Well, of course, I picked up a few more skeins because I love making scrubbies out of this yarn. It's my favorite yarn to make scrubbies out of, and I thought it has a beautiful sheen to it, almost a sparkly effect, and it's sturdy, it holds its shape. It's perfect for making Easter baskets. And so I decided to design a simple Easter basket using some of the colors that I had on hand. All right, and so we'll talk more about the yarn in just a minute. I'm going to move that out of the way. All right, so the size of the basket is basically, it's 7 inches across the bottom, it's 5 inches tall, and it measures 24 inches around. It's, of course, perfect for Easter basket hunts or just making Easter baskets for friends and family. It's also a really fun basket to use for decorations. I just used the 3 colors and made a beautiful bow on this side, but you could put it here. And you could use this for lots of different things. I've got goodies inside of here, but you could make it without the handle. I'm going to show you. I'm just going to push this under. And you've got a nice basket if you want to, don't do the handle. And you've got a basket for bread or just decorations for the center of your table. And so it has lots of nice uses. It also works great as a yarn basket because you can put your balls of yarn or skeins of yarn inside and put your threads through. And you've got a sturdy yarn basket you could take with you even. So lots of uses for our Sturdy and Bright Easter basket. Now you can find the complete pattern and information on my blog, and of course lots of pictures. And I'll put that blog link down in the notes underneath this video. So to make our Sturdy and Bright Easter basket, I used 3 different colors. I used a main color on this one, this pretty teal, for the bottom, the top, and then the handle. That's the main color. Well, on today's demonstration, I'm going to do it out of this beautiful bright yellow. And you're going to need about 3 ounces of your main color. And then you need an ounce of 2 different colors if you want to change colors like I did. I did 2 rows in this this is a different yellow than this one. This is kind of a lime green. And then I used a really bright pink. And I did the bow out of the same colors. So you're going to need about 3 ounces of your main color, but I'm going to be using the yellow, and then I'm going to use an ounce of each these 2 colors to make these stripes and the bow. Okay, now if you don't want to do it all different colors, you're going to need a total of 5 ounces to make your basket so that you have a nice sturdy handle and just a beautiful basket. So basically 5 ounces of your Yarn Bee Scrub-ology yarn. 3 in your main color, which I'm going to use the yellow, and then 1 ounce and 2 other colors for today's. On this one we did the teal, this sort of lime green, and this bright pink. We're going to be stitching today with our eye hook. Now the yarn calls for a 6 millimeter. But I'm using a 5.5 because I want those stitches to be just a little bit tighter. Because with this pattern, we're not going to be stitching in the double crochet on these rows. We're going to be stitching in between to get that look that we have there. Okay? And so I did both, and I really liked it better with the little bit smaller hook, the 5.5mm crochet hook. You need a needle for weaving in your ends and a pair of scissors. Now, you can embellish this if you wanted to add some buttons or an applique on your basket. You can do whatever that you want to do for appliques and embellishment buttons and things. I just made this beautiful bow. It's really easy to make. And one of the neat things about using this Scrub-ology is you can throw this basket in the laundry. And so that's why another good reason that I really loved using this particular yarn for this basket. And also, it makes a really sturdy basket. So I've got my main color that I'm using for my second basket, which is yellow. We're going to make a slip knot and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to join this into a circle and make that stay knot. Now, if you want to use another method of making your beginning circle, you certainly can. Go in, pull up a loop, and chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. This chain 3 counts as 1 double crochet, and I'm going to stitch 9 more for a total of 10 double crochets. And working with this yarn can be a little bit difficult at first, especially since we went down a hook size. And so just really work with it, take your time, and once you get going, you'll get used to it. It's a little bit stiff, and that's okay because that's what we want for our Easter basket, so it can hold its shape. Whoop. There we go. Pushing that around. And because this is a bulky 5 yarn, it will work up really fast. Now I know you're probably going to ask me, can you use any bulky 5 yarn? And yes, you can. Any bulky number 5 yarn will work for this basket, but just remember it may not be as sturdy as this yarn. All right, let me count how many I've done. Here's my chain 3, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We need one more, which is 10. We're going to join to that chain 3 with a slip stitch and chain 3. All right, now we're going to turn this over. We're going to pull that string nice and tight because we do not want a hole in the bottom of our basket. Now, when you're weaving this yarn in, it can be a little bit more difficult. You can't open the top, so you need to make sure you've got a nice big needle with a nice big eye. All right, and weaving this in, what I do is I just go in those stitches. Like that. And yeah, it'll come undone sometimes. It's just a little bit different because, of course, the yarn's a little bit different. All right, so I came forward a few stitches. I'm going to go back, going underneath. Make sure you don't go through to the front. Give it a good pull, because the main thing is we do not want that hole to come undone. So I'm just going to go back the way I came one more time. And you can do that more. You can have a longer tail until you're happy that that's going to hold. So for row 1, we have 10 double crochets. We joined to the first chain 3 and chained 3. Now we're ready for row 2. For row 2, we're going to place a double crochet in the same stitch as our chain 3, and then we're going to place 2 double crochets in each of those double crochets around. And you'll see this will work up really quickly because we are using that bulky number 5 yarn. All right, so I'm placing 2 double crochets in each of my double crochets around. And then I'll join back to my chain 3 and chain 3. We stitched 1 double crochet in the same stitch as our chain 3 and then 2 double crochets in each of our double crochets around, so we have 20 double crochets. So we're going to join to that chain 3 with the slip stitch and chain 3. And row 3 is just like row 2, we just have more stitches. So we're going to double crochet in the same stitch as our chain 3, and then again we're going to place 2 double crochets in each of our double crochets around. And so since we have 20 double crochets on row 2, row 3 will have 40 double crochets. And this will form a nice bottom to our Easter basket. So we're placing 2 double crochets in each of our double crochets around. There we go. And we'll join back to our chain 3. I have completed row 3. We stitched 1 double crochet in the same stitch as our chain 3 and then 2 double crochets in each around. So now we have 40 double crochets. We're going to join to the chain 3 with a slip stitch and chain 3. Now for row 4, we're going to double crochet in the next 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. That gives us 3 because our chain 3 counts as our first. And then in the next double crochet, we're going to stitch 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. And this is our repeat for row 4. 1 double crochet in the next 3, 1, 2, and 3. And 2 double crochets in the next, 1 and 2. One double crochet in the next 3, 2 in the next, and repeat all the way around. 1, 2, and 3. And 2 double crochets in the next, 1 and 2. All the way around, and again join back to our chain 3. We have 50 double crochets. We did 1 in the next 3, 2 in the next, all the way around. We're going to join to our chain 3 with a slip stitch and chain 3. Now we're not going to increase anymore. What we're going to do now is we're going to place 1 double crochet in each of our double crochets, but we're going to stitch it in the back loop. So if you look here on the top, you'll see there are loops here. These are the front loops, and these are your back loops. And so we're going to stitch 1 double crochet in each of those back loops, going all the way around our row. And this is going to help it sit up and hold its shape. All right, so you'll know that you're doing it correctly if you see this row of loops that we didn't stitch in. All right, so we'll go in that back loop of each of our double crochets and just stitch 1 double crochet in each. And when this is going to be the outside, this will be the inside. And when we do this, this is going to make that edge sit up nice and straight. All right? All right, so 1 double crochet in each of the double crochets around, working in the back loop only. So I have stitched 1 double crochet in each of my double crochets, stitching in the back loop only. And you can see that line all the way around of those front loops that we didn't stitch in. All right, so now you can see it's starting to be a basket. So we're going to join to our chain 3 with a slip stitch and chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. All right, and so now for row 6, we're just going to stitch 1 double crochet in each of our double crochets around. We're not stitching in the back loop only anymore. We're just stitching 1 double crochet in each of our double crochets, working all the way around our basket. And see how quickly this stitches up? And you can already see how sturdy it's going to be. All right, so 1 double crochet in each of the double crochets all the way around. And then we'll join back again to our chain 3. I have stitched 1 double crochet in each of my double crochets around. I join to my chain 3, and I'm going to cut my yarn because I'm going to bring in color 2. We'll be bringing in color 1 again later. All right, now I'm going to be changing colors. You do not have to if you do not want to. If you want to do it all in one color, that is totally fine. All right, so I'm bringing in this orange. All right, now we're going to go in between that chain 3 and the first double crochet and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, now we're going to stitch a double crochet between the next 2 double crochets. We'll do this all the way around. Instead of stitching in the stitch, we're stitching between the double crochet stitches. All right, so we're still stitching a double crochet, we're just putting it in a different place between the double crochets of the previous row. And it really has a really nice effect. I love the way that it looks. And it also makes stitching with this yarn a little bit easier than trying to finagle it going through the stitches, although it's really not hard. Once you get to this point, you've probably got it all figured out how to work with this interesting yarn. And so we're just going to stitch 1 double crochet in between the double crochets, working all the way around. And I want you to see how that looks. Isn't that interesting? Very pretty. We'll do this all the way around and then again join back to our chain 3. So I have completed row 7. We stitched a double crochet in between each of our double crochets around, and I changed colors to orange. Then we join back to our chain 3. I need to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, and so what you're going to do is you're going to repeat row 7 for 3 more rows. And so what I did is I'm going to do another orange row, and then I'm going to bring in this beautiful teal and do 2 rows of this in the teal. Now you can do all 4 rows in one color. You could do all 4 rows in 4 different colors. That part is totally up to you. I just did this orange one, and then I'm going to do another orange one, and then I'm going to do 2 in this pretty light teal. All right, so what we're going to do is repeat our 7 for 3 more rows. I have repeated row 7 for 3 more rows. I did 1 more row in the orange, and then I did 2 rows in that pretty teal, and I really love the way that it looks. I wish you could see that little sheen or sparkle that this yarn has. It just makes the baskets so pretty. All right, so now what we're going to do, here's where I joined with my chain 3. I'll pull that out. I'm going to bring my yellow back in, and of course you can use whatever color you want for the ending. All right, let's pull that down. Again, all the color choices are just up to you. All right, so what we're going to do now for row 11 is we're going to single crochet in each of the double crochets around. And we're back to stitching in the tops of the stitch, not in between. All right, so 1 single crochet in each of the double crochets all the way around our basket. And this single crochet row is really important because it does form the edge of the basket and helps it also keep its shape. And that's one of the reasons I really love this yarn for this project, is because of how well it keeps its shape. And also the fact that it's washable. All right, so I'm just going to single crochet all the way around and join back to my first single crochet. So I have completed that row of single crochet all the way around, and now it's time to put the handle on. And I decided just to stay with my main color because my main color down here is yellow, and so I wanted it to be yellow for my handle. You, of course, can change colors for your handle. Remember, it's your design. Alrighty, so what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to chain 1 and turn, and then we'll single crochet in those 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chain 1 and turn. 1 single crochet in those 4 stitches. Your chain 1 does not count as a stitch, so you want to go right in that first single crochet stitch, so you have 4 single crochets on each row. And this makes a nice sturdy handle. So we have stitched 4 rows, and so you're going to need to stitch an additional 23 rows in order for your handle to be the size that mine is. And again, you can add more rows or stitch less rows depending on the handle that you want to make, or no handle at all. So I've stitched those additional rows, 4 single crochets on each row, and this is how long it will be if you follow my pattern. Now, if you want this to be even longer, again, add more rows, or maybe you want it shorter or not at all. That's totally up to you. So now what we're going to do is we're going to line it up with the other side, and I like to just kind of flatten this out like this. And then you can count across if you want to. I just didn't. I just lined it up by eye. All right. Okay, so I'm going to turn it this way. So I'm all lined up, so I'm going to slip stitch this in. So I'm going through the stitches, and we're just going to slip stitch. We'll go through those 4 stitches. and we slip stitched it and cut my yarn. I'll tie this off, and I do have some other weaving in to do, but we are going to weave this in. We'll stand this up, and you can see how that handle is sturdy even though I've got the basket sort of squished in. Let me show you how sturdy that is. The handle stands up perfectly. All right, so now I'm just going to weave this end in and some of my other ones. And then I'll show you how to make that nice bow. And I even found a couple of buttons I think will be perfect for this basket. All right, so I'm going to show you how I made that big, beautiful bow. I took one strand of each of the colors that I used, and I just cut a big, long piece. All right, so then I just took this, and I'm going to, on the other one, I put it over on the side, but on this one, I'm going to put it in the front, just so you can see different ways that you can decorate your basket. Gotta have it even, or our bow won't be even. Oops, didn't get the yellow one. Grab the yellow one. There we go. All right. Pull that through. There we go. Kind of got, there we go. Make sure everything's even. Then we'll grab the other and pull it back to the front. All right, so I'm going to try to even these out a little. All right. I'm just going to tie a knot using all three of them so it stays put. And then we're going to take 2 bunny ears. It's Easter, right? So we need to do bunny ears and make a bow. I'm going to pull those out just a little bit longer. All right, we want them to kind of droop. Okay, and you can just do one bow, or you can do a second bow, which what I did is I made another bow using 2 bunny ears. There we go. And then I trimmed them a little bit so that the ends were similar. There we go. So now I have this nice big floppy bow, and I really love it. I think they're fun. So you don't have to add a button or an applique or anything else to it. It looks beautiful with a fun bow. And like I said, you can add it to the front or to the side, whatever you want to do. Just have fun with it. But I found these 2 buttons, a nice bright orange and a nice bright yellow, and I thought it would look really cute there. And because it matches really nice with these colors down here. All right, so I hot glued the yellow one onto the orange one on top, and now I'm just going to add some glue to the back of my big button. You can see I'm globbing a bunch on there because I want it to hold. All right, and I'm just going to glue it right on there. Give it a good hard push, and I love it. And see, just adding a little button can add a little extra to it. So now I have showed you how easy it is to make a fun, bright, and sturdy Easter basket. You can put a bow on this side, or you can put it in the front. You can embellish it however you want. You can make the handles as long as you want to, because these are nice, sturdy handles that stay up like they're supposed to. And again, this is the Scrub-ology bulky number 5 yarn from Yarn Bee that's sold at Hobby Lobby. All right, I love them. They're so beautiful and bright and colorful. And they have lots of other colors besides these, like purples and pinks, and just lots of fun colors that you can work with. And it doesn't take very much to make these. It's just a super fun project, and I just love them.